pleasure to be with you again this morning for us. My name is Bernard Gracia, and I'm director of EIPM, and I'm here this morning with Christian Camerlin. 2 words, Christian.
Good morning. I'm Christian Kemerlen. As Bernard said, I was formerly CPO Europe for Texas Instruments, one of the major electronic component producer in the world, and member of the worldwide leadership team of procurement in charge of deploying global processes and tools like SAP, quality programs, and so forth. I joined EIPM as project manager, and among other things, I developed the tool and assessment program and awards program that we are going to describe to you this morning.
Thank you very much, Christian. Very few words about EIPM for the ones who don't know EIPM. So EIPM is a school. We're over 30 years old now. We train around 5,000 people per year. And we have 2 branches, one in Shanghai and one in Geneva. We have 3 main pillars, one which is research. And it's very important for us because with this research, outcomes of research, we can develop education. So we wrote a book, Pursuing Fifth Generation. We have a lot of different white papers. We work a lot on for instance, these days on carbon zero, on digitalization. We have been working on competence, we have been working on maturity, and all these elements come to the education. We have one certification program set. We have an exam diploma, and we train around 5,000 people per year in different in-company programs around the world in 9 different languages. We developed 2 main tools, one which is a tool for assessing the competence of people, and one which is for assessing maturity. We're going to speak about, and we have a main library, e-library of over 130 modules. Very important point is in the education, we have this set of certification program for buyers, for newcomers, for buyers, for expert buyers, and for can-man. And we have the program for executive diploma. If you need more information about that, do not hesitate to contact us. What we're going to cover during this hour is part of, we cover some of this topic of maturity in the exec diploma and in the L4, which is the leading purchasing transformation, which is for manager. One important point is we are spread around the world in different countries of the world, not only for trainings, but also for supporting and coaching the different companies. Some of the main references in different sectors as academy. We have been organizing these different academies with these big companies around the world. And we have also a lot of different main clients. One key reasons why we have these clients, big clients around the world, is because all the training content belong to EIPM, and we can distribute the exact same content around the world. Very few words and on EIPM, and do not hesitate to contact us back for if you need more information. Let's jump on what we speak about today, the BBEST. So one key point we want to introduce is we're not going to present only the BBEST process, but we're going also to present you the different tools or process or reward awards we can be attached to the BBEST. So we're going to present you the BBEST. We're going to present you some customized BBEST tools, meaning that we can develop the same tool for an in-company program. We're going to present you the EIPM certification and introducing you the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. So the idea is all these tools are coming from the BBEST process. So if we go in one slide, very, very simple slide, it seems to be complex, but it's very simple. So what's in blue, it's the BBEST process. So we start from the self-assessment. We present the practices. We have the maturity score and benchmarking report. So these blue, of these blue squares are about the BBEST process. Now, if you want to go for a certification, we need an audit. We go for an audit, it be online or it be face-to-face, and we go for a certification. And to get this to this certification, we're going also, if you look at the yellow square, it's we need somehow to be aligned with this description of the different practices. So the blue is the BBEST process. The same BBEST process is going to be used for certification in gold. The same BBEST process is going to be used for EIPM Peter Kraljic Award, for audit, for certification, and validation for EIPM Peter Kraljic Award. But it's basically the same process. And we're going also to use the same BBEST process for customized BBEST in yellow, meaning that we're exactly going to use the same process because it's the same process, but we're going to select some specific programs and specific tools inside the company to customize this BBEST. So just one picture to explain. We're going to concentrate, to zoom, to focus on BBEST, and then we're going to cascade the certification, the customized BBEST, and the awards, which are all son and daughter of a BBEST. Okay, clear? So 2 words about BBEST, and I'm going to give the floor to Christian. Self-assessment. So the first thing is which are the benefits for the users. First, knowing that we got over 900 users from more than quite 600 companies, and we got quite 60 Peter Kraljic Awards. So meaning that using these different 32 criteria, you're going to be compared to this and benchmark to these 900 companies, and be compared also to the awards winners. So meaning you can compare yourself to the average of this 500 company, and you're going to be compared also benchmark to the best, which are the Peter Kraljic Award. So it's a holistic tool. It's a very powerful tool, and we're also going to say we're going to personalize. This tool is based on the EFQM model, which is, as we say, an holistic, non-prescriptive framework. Is based on 9 criteria, which are 5 enablers. So the 5 enablers are about leadership on your left, people, strategy, partnership in resources and process, and the 4 results, which are people results, customer results, and society results, and business results. The idea is behind the EFQM model is to say, if we are a best society, a best company, is not because we have the best results in terms of financial results. It's because we have been implementing a good leadership, we have a good relation with people, we have an important strategy, and also the results are people results, and also impact on the society, and so on and so forth. So based on this framework, we have been developing the EIPM framework and the EIPM roadmap, which is this one, the self-assessment and description of practices. Then we have this maturity score benchmarking report and standard criteria. Christian is going to jump in to present you in detail.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Bernard. When you are going to use BBEST, which is a free access from our website, and we'll give you the link later, you have to do your self-assessment, which means you self-score yourself against a set of about 100 questions according to the standard 9 criteria that Bernard described. And the outcome of the tool is a maturity score, which gives you a number telling you where you stand on the total scale, and a detailed benchmarking report comparing your results for the 9 criteria, but also the 32 sub-criteria, to the average users of the tool and to the 60 winners of the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards, which we consider as the best in class. Next.
Should we move, Christian?
Pardon?
Should we move?
Yeah. So the classical use of the tool for a company is to do a self-assessment, which means understand the strengths and the weakness area where you can improve, and comparing you with best-in-class competitors and average users to compete for the awards, as Bernard introduced earlier. And you get site visits and a report, but also taking the conclusions of the reports, you can, and your own reflection when you do the assessment, you can define your improvement roadmap and prioritize your pipeline of actions to gain improved maturity and higher performance. And when an organization is using the tool for multiple sites and sub-organizations, it can compare which organization has the best practices and achieves the best results, and can generalize these, deploy those best practices across all the organization. And we'll see how this has been done by one of our clients. Okay, next. Okay, using the self-assessment is for you to score your activities. So the model is non-prescriptive, is not telling you what to do, but describes you what an excellent organization is doing. So you can decide yourself, considering the context of your company, your business, and so forth, what could be the ideal situation that will give you this excellent position. And the outcome will be the score sheet and the benchmarking report. Next page.
So here we're going to give you just some screenshot of some results, and just for you to understand how it works. So if we go on the report and benchmark, your company is in green, the average, and the best in class, as we say. So understanding that your company green is compared to the average of the 500 companies went through, and the yellow is are the best, meaning the companies who won the award. And it's interesting to see your position, how far you are from the best, not to compare only to the average of the 500, but it's important to compare to the best. Okay, so these are the enabler criteria, and you have exactly the same scoring and also a graphic part. So enablers, and again, enablers with another representation of this enabler. And when we compare to all criteria, what's interesting to realize is to see exactly your curve, the green one, compared to the curve of the best in class and the average. So it's interesting that when we look at people results here and the society results, our company are not as good as the average, meaning that we have to improve on these elements. And it gives you ideas about orientation to improve. So just to summarize the tool, the utilization of the tool, it's a non-prescriptive tool, it's a complete holistic tool. You have questions, your answers, and based on that, you're going to compare in terms of leadership, in terms of strategy, in terms of people, to the average of the answers from the 500 companies, and also compare how far you are from the best one. Okay, Christian, do you want to add something on that?
No, you described well the process. So it's really a way using the tool to, I would say, get inspiration on what is possible for you and what you should do to reach excellence, and also how and on which categories and criteria you should move up in order to make your organization competitive to the market and deliver better performance and results to your stakeholders.
So this process, this tool can be customized for you. Basically, what we say is you see you have a standard process, and the idea is to say, how can we select this process, and how can we customize this process to make it useful for you and to be capable to be used in your environment, specific environment. Christian?
Yeah, so one particular point to mention here is that besides the standard criteria that you can keep in total or only as a part, you can add selected projects and programs, and within your organization compare how the different parts of the organization are deploying and what are the performance and the results that those different elements of the organization can achieve. So it's creating, by doing this self-assessment and describing practices, you create a sort of small competition within the organization, which is a booster of your overall organization performance. Besides the reports and the benchmark that you get from the tool, you have also performed by EIPM a detailed analysis of the strengths and weaknesses and a comparison of the various sub-organizations or elements of your organizations, which is used by clients to design specific programs to catch up with the model that they have anticipated as performance model for the entire organization. So the clone of the tool is customized according to your needs and your specific projects and programs. The activity is similar to the standard way of using BBEST tool, but it helps understanding with granularity what happens within your organization in terms of deployment and performance levels. And of course, the normal outcome of the use of the tool is to have an improvement program which will be driving your progress. And normally, companies are doing annual reassessment of their organization in order to measure which progress have been made, where they have been made, and what are the lagging organizations.
So we thought that an interesting element be to interview one client who have been using this tool, and we're going to have a short video of Dominique Lobigo, who is CPO in Moet, Tennessee, and who has been using the tool for some year now.
Thank you very much, Bernard. Yes, I'm Dominique Lobigo, and I'm the Chief Purchasing Officer of Moet, Tennessee, the Wine and Spirits division of LVMH.
Thank you very much for these first drops. Why did you use the customized BBEST for MH?
Well, we started a very interesting journey at Moet, Tennessee for transforming the purchasing function. And I wanted to find a tool that could give an incentive for all our business units in our company for accelerating the transformation process. And I believe that the BBEST tool was completely adapted because this tool was existing. It was a proven, efficient tool that was, in fact, being used every year by the EIPM for benchmarking the purchasing maturity of companies. So we told ourselves that there is no reason why, if we can benchmark companies, we can also benchmark inside a company the maturity of purchasing of business unit and give them incentive to transform.
Can you go a bit deeper on how you have been using it? I understand it's as an incentive, but just some more words about that.
Yeah, well, what we did with the help of the EIPM, we in fact took the tool and we tailor-made the tool for our problematics. So in fact, we changed many different questions and criteria of assessment inside the tool to reflect the problematic of purchasing organization at Moet, Tennessee, and to make sure that the assessment we will be making every year, that we usually do in end of November, this assessment is effectively reflecting the reality of the situation at Moet, Tennessee. So we tailor-made the tool. Which
how many BU do you have?
We have something like today around 20.
Okay, so once a year you go. Is it a big bang, or do you go slowly along the year, or every year at one point in a time you go for?
Absolutely. It's not a big bang. The magic of that tool for us is that it allowed us to make a picture, a photography, a picture, a one-time picture, the first assessment. We started in 2018. And then since that first assessment, that's the basis of our evaluation, we have a 3 years action plan for each business unit, and a 3 years action plan which is going to elevate the purchasing maturity everywhere. And we track every year this the evolution of the rating. So we moved from a rating around 30% in 2018. We are today at 55%. So what is interesting in that tool is the dynamic of the evolution, not really the starting point.
So the action plan for each BU is based on their own results.
Absolutely.
Okay. And benchmark with the other company, with the other BU.
Exactly, between BUs. Okay. And then we use that tool as a communication tool, because then I can show to all the presidents of our business unit, I can show where do they stand compared to their colleagues and to the other units, business units. We also track the elevation of purchasing maturity for our category of spend as well. So for the packaging spending, for the raw material spending, for the CapEx spending, we also track how much and how fast we are elevating purchasing maturity in those categories as well.
Just last point, how long does it take for you for implementing in duration, but every year, how long does it take basically?
So in the beginning, the first time we implemented that tool, we had to tailor-made the tool. It took us, we were not allowed to work on it. I was personally involved. So it took us something like 3 to 4 months for having the tool ready. Then every year, it's we give the organization 15 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks to perform the evaluation. So it's every year, it's a 2 or 3 weeks time frame for people to declare where they are.
Just last point, just I'm doing a lot of sports, and are you using that as a competition in between the BU or not at all?
It's kind of competition,
yeah.
Because when you start comparing the level of maturity between BUs and you make it visible in one same chart, then people can see where they fit and their position versus the average, and nobody is willing to look bad. Huh?
Thank you very much, Dominique, for this presentation. We can come back on the presentation later on, but the interesting point is a way to understand that, as he said, it's a picture, every year picture, and you see the improvement of a different organization. So it's a picture of organization based on these different elements. It's not a KPI only. It's really how this organization is moving, is changing, and how far one is far away from the other one on one specific element, and what this company or this BU should do to be better and to improve compared to the other one. So it's a complete, other than a picture, it's a movie, because you have to improve and you see the improvement along the years. So it's quite interesting, and we can come back. Christian has been the leader of this project, as he's the leader of the complete process. So this is the second utilization we have. So we have a BBEST process. We have a BBEST customized for some companies, and we have the BBEST used for certification of organization. And the idea here is we have here, if you look at the mapping, we have an audit for the certification. Christian, can you take the floor?
Yeah. So the purpose of the certification is to, by EIPM, which is an independent organization, is to show to your company and your stakeholders what is the value and how your organization compares with the other on the market or the best in class. So it's the same process of self-assessment, description of practices, and you get, of course, the maturity score and the benchmarking report. But once the evaluation, self-evaluation is completed, you receive an audit by EIPM, a group of 2 people for 1 day, which is validating what you have described as your practices, and is an opportunity to exchange also on what could be or what are the opportunities to improve, make your processes more robust and delivering more value to your stakeholders. And of course, as the outcome of the visit, you have an extended report which describes all what you do and give you some hints on where you can improve. So the evaluation and the visit is done according to the standard criteria, and will help you really and give you arguments from an outside body to justify what you do and communicate within your organization, within your company, how good you are, and that you are really caring for your stakeholders and also caring for continuous improvement of the value you deliver to them. So it's really something which is important for the communication.
We try to split it here in terms of time and in terms of value, the importance. So between the certification, the benchmark, outcome of the audit and progress compared to the self-assessment, the value, the weight of both elements of a process. And as Christian said, the deliverable is a certificate, press release, and a lot of advice to see how you could move from one step to another one. So we have these different steps, for these 5 different steps. The basic one, which is at the transactional level. The next one is a bronze. So it's following our maturity assessment score. It's the function is a support function. The 3rd level is a silver, partnering function. The 4th is gold, networking, and the platinum is a where purchasing is at the core function. So the idea when you are certified, it's ready to move from one step to another. So some companies say, well, at the end of the certification, after the audit, and when we arrive at the deliverable with the reports and so on and so forth, they may be just at the support function. I say, well, I prefer not being and being bronze. I prefer not being bronze. I prefer to wait for next year. I understand what I have to improve. I'm going to improve, to work on, and I want to present it again next year, improving in between now and next year, to have a certificate at the partnering function, for instance. Or the ones who are partnering function may say, hey, I prefer to be at the gold level. Because it's very important, as Christian said, you're going to communicate on your level. You're going to receive a certificate, and you're going to have a press release and docs to send to your stakeholder, but to send to your suppliers. So it's just to indicate the level of maturity you are, and to be clear and to communicate on that. So some people prefer not communicating this year because they consider the level they are not at the right level, and they prefer not being certified for waiting for the year after. Okay, so this is the complete elements of a certification. The idea is to arrive to be at the gold or platinum level, and to have this certification for a maximum of 3 years. In terms of before starting again a new audit. So you can stop before. I mean, if you are, as I say, a partnering function, you have been improving, the year after you can go back to a certification for trying to go at the next level. But when you have, for instance, a core function, platinum, your certification, your status as platinum is for 3 years. And you have to do the certification again the year after. Christian, if you want to elaborate on this different scope of certification.
Yeah. The certification can be obtained globally for an organization or for a regional organization or local organization. It depends on how you are driving the improvement in your organization and what are the specificities of your different business units. The validity of the certificate is limited. This is an incentive for the organization to consider competing for the next level of certification from silver to gold and platinum and so forth. So it's a built-in mechanism to encourage companies to move to the higher level and, of course, deliver more value, deliver more satisfaction to the stakeholders. Okay, so we have a quick description of the organization audit, and it's all around the capabilities of the organization. It means that we want to help you building higher capabilities that will allow you to deserve a higher level of certification, but most importantly, to enable you to, by increased capabilities and develop the performance and the value you deliver. So this is the ultimate objective of this certification program.
Thank you very much, Christian. So here we saw the second level, second product, let's say, issued from the process, the BBEST process, which is a certification. So we saw the customized tool, BBEST customized. We just saw now the certification, which is certifying the complete organization and to communicate this level of certification to your stakeholder. So big value in terms of communication for you and big recognition around. And what we're going to jump in is for fourth utilization is the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. So everybody knows about Peter. So we since over 10 years now, I think it's 12 years. So we started discussing with Peter to see with him how he could give his name to a certain level of recognition. And we have been elaborating with him the process based on the BBEST to say, hey, I would appreciate that my name be associated with the best organization and not just a buzzer. You know, you have a lot of awards where you have a buzzer and the one with the quickest on the buzz is getting the award. So here, the idea is totally different. The idea is, again, we come back to the process. You have this self-assessment, description of practices, the maturity score, benchmarking, we visit, and then you deserve or not the EIPM Peter Kraljic Award. So the idea, and this is very important, and we understand that here again is a kind of communication award for the company. It has been recognized as the best organization of the year. So it's not, I'm not going compared to a certification where the idea is how can I improve again. The certification, the award is this year, I'm the best organization. Perhaps next year, I may not be the best one because next year we may have best organization again. So the idea is really an award for the year and comparing companies who are presented this year. Christian, do you want to say some word on the complete process or we jump on next one?
Yeah, I think the benefit that you get from receiving an award is multiple. And first you have, can you go to the next slide? You have your own award, which is according to the various categories which are shown here in talent management, in collaboration, in sustainable future, agility, innovation, transformation, value creation, process management and digitalization, risk management, and as Bernard indicated, the Organization of the Year award, which is given to the company who excels or is the best according to multiple of those criteria. The purpose is really manifold. The first one is to receive an award, and by doing so, you have to have your teams and your groups working together. So it's creating during the assessment and during the audit some cohesion and some improvement of the teamwork. The second is being proud of achieving an award and getting an award by an external organization again. And another benefit is for the internal communication, the fact that you can you can, I would say, your customer or your stakeholders or your suppliers know by the communication that you are doing something which is not standard or average, but your organization and your processes are superior to the other companies and procurement. So the audit of the organization, which is the slide presented here, is very similar to the other ones which are performed in the other activities. And again, we want to highlight that one of the outcome and deliverable of the audit is the report, which is used to drive your improvement, your continuous improvement, knowing where your strengths are, your weaknesses are, and in which ways you can improve your gaps and eliminate weaknesses.
In fact, the process along the years, it's quite interesting. We got quite 1,000 companies who went through, and at the end we got 60 winners. So you go through the complete process, which has been explained by Christian. You complete the assessment. We go training with a radar method. We shortlist some companies. We have the visit, and what's important in the visit is not only to validate, but is to validate what has been written in the self audit, and also to give some advice for improvement. So it's a complete audit for giving advice to the company to improve.
Sorry, Bernard. What we can stress here is that it's really a fact-based decision on the awards, the category of the awards, and which company deserves the awards, contrary to usual awards, as Bernard described earlier. So it's a very fact-based and constructive process because you learn how you can continue to improve.
And then we have the jury discussion to analyze this year who have the best elements, the best criteria, and who will be the best of the year. What's important is the award is not a stable one in the sense that every year we have some elements which are moving, in terms of topics. Some years ago, digitalization was not a key topic, or carbon zero. This now is entering in the process, and we may have some companies who have been going to be awarded for this topic. So basically, what we have here in terms of agenda, just to give you an idea. If you go on the website, the EIPM website, you can already get the questionnaire online, and you can apply until September the 15th. Then we pre-select some companies. We validate through these site visits, or when it's not possible, we go online, as we did the 2 last years with site reports. We have a meeting on November 15th with Peter Kraljic, and a celebration. It's in December and we're trying to get this this face-to-face event, even though last year we were obliged, or 2 years ago, we were obliged to do it on online. So this is the overall idea. And the president, honorary president of jury is Peter himself. The president of the year is the CPO who won the year before, the organization of the year. And we have a CEO of EFQM, as we are partnering in this challenge. And we have the MBA director of EIPM, an alumni of the EIPM MBA alumni, and myself. And the idea is every year we're going to select the company of the year, the one who is the best. It was the most criteria. The most criteria, and we have this idea of talent management also. We have one for transformation and value creation. We have process management, digitalization, external collaboration, sustainable future, risk management, agility and innovation. So you see that some words were not existing 10 years ago, and we have been adapting the awards to the evolution of what is purchasing procurement. So every year we have this organization of the year, which is the organization we have the most recognition through the different criteria, and then we have 5 or 6 different organizations we're going to be awarded. Sometimes, perhaps, for some years, we did not get any companies who got the risk, the innovation, agility and innovation, because we did not find company at the right level to get an award in terms of agility and innovation. And it was interesting to see that we got more companies on the process, but company on agility, even though we were among the best ones. So it gives also a picture of the reality of our world in terms of how companies are becoming better in some very specific topic and important topic. And here we speak about agility and innovation. We speak about sustainable future. We speak about digitalization and not only process. Okay.
So another point worth to mention is that along the years, we are raising the bar because we discovered that some practices have improved. So we expect that the winner of the award is at the best level. So this year level is higher than 5 years ago levels. And as Bernard said, we have been introducing new themes and new awards because they are now required for a good organization to deliver the value which is expected, like risk management, innovation, value creation, and so forth.
And what's quite interesting in when we look at the award winners of the year, companies are coming from different countries, 22 countries, but from different environment. And we have some pretty, not big companies, such as Atlantica Grupa, which is from Croatia, Slovenia, and other companies which are very good, very big, such as Sanofi or Bosch or Ericsson. So you still have this chance to be among the best one, not only because you're a big one, but because you are efficient and effective in what you're doing in terms of procurement, and how what you do is impacting really the results and the value in the company. And it was the case for Atlantic Grupa, it has been the case in other sectors such as STC or Andis, which is also not a so big company in terms of revenue. So what we think interesting now is perhaps to go back to Dominique to give us an interview, just a short interview about the impact of the award and why he has been doing and what the award has been bringing to his organization. So I go from this to another competition, which is the EIPM Peter Kraljic Awards. You won some years ago. What has been for you the importance first of running these awards, and what has been the impact for you and for your organization?
That's a very good question and very important award, because you can do the best job possible and you believe you are doing a fantastic job, but at the end of the day, it's always useful to have an independent view on your job. And we wanted to see where a benchmark, where do we stand compared to the average or compared to the first-in-class companies in terms of maturity of purchasing. So running that Peter Kraljic Award for us was first one way to benchmark ourselves. Second, very good way to quickly identify areas of improvement where we still have some progress to make. And that was the second reason. And third, it's a very important tool for encouraging and building the sense of belonging of the purchasing community. People are very proud. The purchasing people are very proud to have this award and to have received that award, Best Organization of the Year. And we use it as a communication tool when we are making presentation to business schools or to some purchasing associations. So it's a very good way of developing a sense of belonging for the company and ensuring we can communicate and put some credit to the organization.
Some advice for the ones who are hesitating or are willing to go for the award. What could you advise them?
First, don't wait. Go ahead and apply. Mm-hmm. The benefits you will get compared to the investment that you will make to participate to the award, the benefits are 10 times much bigger than the investment. You will observe and see those benefits every year, because you can always come back and communicate on these purchasing awards. And again, it's a recognition from the profession itself, so the entire industry. So it's something that you can always be proud. So my advice is go ahead, don't wait, and participate to that award.
Thank you very much, Dominique. Take care of yourself.
Thank you very much, Bernard.
Thank you again, Dominique. Just what I want to say, it's just to reinforce what Dominique has been saying concerning celebration, communication. I was amazed every year we have been doing the award about the impact on the team. When we were doing this celebration on face-to-face, the CPO was not alone. He was coming with his the major persons of the team, the ones who have been working on, not necessarily the number ones, but people in the team who have been elaborating and working on the award. And frequently we were presenting a video with the team, so across the world. So the impact on the team is very high, because everybody is working for the award, communicating on, and this is this type of competition. And it was even bigger during the pandemic, because we had to do this video before, and you saw people were very, very pleased to be together without being together and being face to face. So very, very high impact in terms of communication, the award, because it's competition. Certification is not a competition. It's just to validate you are among the best. So it's important in terms of communication, but it's important vis-a-vis your stakeholder, vis-a-vis your supplier. It's not the spirit of a competition. So your team is going to be pleased, but for different reasons, because it's a long-term impact. It's for 3 years. So you want to be you want to validate your level as being among the best ones. The customized BBEST is very important for you, because you'll be able to compare one unit or one site to another site, one unit to another unit, and to try to improve them in parallel. So you have two levels. You're going to compare your business unit in between themselves, but also to compare them to the best from outside. So you have a two speed for improvement, and it's very important to give some information to your different general manager around to explain them why they're not necessarily at the level of the other ones. And it's not only a question of recruiting people, it may be a question of getting a better information process or getting a higher level of people in some regions. So, and this is the customized BBEST. The BBEST tool you see is a route. So it's easy to use, it's online, and you'll be able to, based on this BBEST, cascade the different tools in function of your priorities. The priority is to improve everybody in the organization. You take the BBEST customized for you, and we're going to customize, as Dominic say, in function of your environment. We're going to reformulate questions which are for your environment. If you are in a kind of urgency and if you want to prove your team, you are winners, so you go for the awards. Because it has a very high impact on your team, but outside in terms of you are the best. And if you want to work on the long term and to prove and to communicate with your stakeholder and suppliers, you go for the certification. So this is what we were willing to present, Christian and myself. We are ready to get some questions from you. How can we take the appointment with you to organize a presentation of this award on your just here our email address, so do not hesitate. Erin, you Eining, so you have our email. Send us an email, and we get in touch with you, and we take an appointment with you. Thank you, Eining. As was mentioned, self-assessment is free, but can you please elaborate what are the costs for audit certification? So we can elaborate on that. The first part is totally free because it's online. We're working with you. The audit is if it's in 1 day or 2 days, it's 2 days people. So it's the number of people multiplied by the number of days plus transportation. So it's not 10,000 bucks. It's depending on the duration, it can be 5,000 transportation. This is for the self-assessment. For certification, we can give you also the different pricing we have in function of, again, the duration and the support we can bring, because we can also coaching you for the certification for all the different utilization. You can do it yourself, or we can help you in doing it because you think you are you need some support. So depending the different options, you have different pricing. But if you send us a mail, we'll be answering you on different points. Okay. Any other questions? One interesting is in the organization, who can lead the process? Christian, you have been leading for us a process of award or certification. Who in the company can lead the process for the award? Is it always the CPO, or it can be somebody else?
So it can be somebody else. Normally what organizations do in order to split the workload between the different members of the organization is that the manager is assigning the different criteria to different people. So people can have only an acceptable additional work to perform in addition to their normal work. So it's reducing the impact on everybody's, but normally it's a teamwork, because another reason is you need to know exactly what happens in the different part of the organizations and what are the detailed practices. Sometimes the manager is in his ivory tower. I mean, there is nothing bad on that, but is not close enough to perfectly describe what the practices are on which we base the awards, for example, or the certification. So it's good to involve people who are really managing and doing the activities and achieving the results or building the value.
If you may, Christian, I would like to revisit a little story we got. The first point I want to mention is the best-in-class company is not only the company who has best practices, is the company who has been deploying the best practices, because all the companies have best practices. The only difference between a best-in-class and a normal company is the best-in-class has been deploying everywhere these best practices. I remember one long time ago when we were doing this assessment, and you had this, you were giving this feedback in a meeting with the CPOs and the different members for purchasing days. So you had other people from around the world meeting in the room and for a conference, and Christian presenting the results and presenting the results of the organization compared to the benchmark. And suddenly one guy in the room said, who has been giving you this information concerning our company? And the CPO say, raise the hand, she say, myself. Okay, and so the guy shut up, and Christian went on. And sometimes after, I don't know what the guy said, but who have been doing this, who has been giving you this information concerning our company, because we don't recognize ourselves. And the CPO say, myself again. So I say, okay, stop. What I suggest is I'm going to spread all the different criteria, and you're going to do in your per regions and globally. And we realized that the CPO had good information about what he had in his office, but not necessarily what was spread around in the different organizations. So what Christian said is very important, that you involve different people for being sure that the practices you mentioned are already deployed. Another interesting question is, in which languages this tool is today deployed or can be deployed? Christian?
So we have multiple languages, and when you connect to, you have to create an account, and then you have to ask for assessments, and you can select languages. So we have English, French, Russian, and more languages.
Okay, so we anybody can do it in his own language, and we can coach them and help them later on. Okay. The last one is we support EIPM can bring to the team, to a company, to go through the award, to go through certification, and to go through the customized BBEST. Can we coach? Can we support? Can we are there different level of support? Christian?
Yeah, we can through several activities along the entire process. We can help you design the way you will be doing the assessment. We can help you once you have done the assessment, prioritize or guide you through the different possible improvement and make suggestions about practices that exist to close a gap and help you deciding how to proceed. We can help you also in the deployment of the new practices achieve the results that you expect through different mentoring or different coaching sessions.
Okay, so meaning that there are different supports, there are different package to help you in being successful in whether implementing the BBEST, customized BBEST in your organization, or for the certification or for the awards.
Absolutely. We need to understand or work with you on what your expectations are and what can be the processes and the people. So it's not me, but other people and experts who can join the team and help you achieving the results that you expect within a given timeline.
Thank you very much. If we don't have any more questions, just on time, 11 o'clock here, 1 hour discussing with you. It was a pleasure. If you need more information, do not hesitate to contact us. It will be a pleasure to answer you. And it's time for you, if you're interested by the award, to jump in the EIPM website and to go for getting the questionnaire. Thank you very much. Thank you, Christian. Take care of yourself.
Thank you.